Hey, what's up, my people? It's your boy Minksley, and I'm back here in the studio. It's the 6th episode of Sathripoic, which is an acronym for me, my music, and my musical journey. And this is the story of my musical journey. Sathripoic is an acronym for strong, artistic, talented, honor, respectable, intelligent, pride, original, integrity, and charismatic. Yeah, so I want to remind you guys, on December 26th, the 5th album will be out. It's called Gray in My Beard. It's going to be on all streaming platforms. You can find all my music on all streaming platforms, whether it's Pandora, Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon Music, wherever you listen to music. Chances are you can find me. Just search Minksley, and you'll see me pop up on your screen. So I appreciate all love, all support, And even on like Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, if you want to use a song as like your background music, it comes up in all of those as well. That being said, let's move on through the next part of the story. Where we left off is where I ended up putting together my first digital studio setup, and that was back in 2002. And around that time, I was out there doing my thing, trying to figure out my sound, and trying to get out and do shows here and there. So around that time, I ended up doing a few shows. I did a show at Leimert Park, which was very interesting, because they had this small stage, which was, I think, about like 6 to 8 feet by I think it was 8 by 4. I think it was like the size of a sheet of plywood. But they built the whole stage. It was about 3 feet off the ground, and the DJ booth, the DJ setup was right next to it, and they had like a real short mic cable. So no cordless mic at that time. And I remember I couldn't go far from the DJ table because it's short mic cord. And that one was kind of funny because I remember taking pictures with a couple of people, and after doing my performance, I did like 2 songs that day at Leimert Park, and one of them was a love song. And that was real important to me because about a year later, I went to stay with some family in LA. And I met this girl, and I'm sitting there trying to holler at her, and she was sitting there in her car. And I'm kind of knelt down by the driver's side, and while I'm talking to her, she kept looking at the dashboard, look at me, look at the dashboard, look at me. And she said, don't you go by like Mink? I said, Minksley? She said, yeah. She said, you rap, right? I said, yeah. She was one of the people I took pictures with at Leimert Park. She had the picture on her dashboard. This was like a year later, which is crazy. It kind of made me feel good about what I'm doing. I ended up doing another show on Sunset Boulevard. It was at the location where they do the, what do they call them people, the Scientology place. That was interesting. They were trying to recruit people, but I wasn't there for Scientology. I was there to perform my music. Luckily for me, a little before that, someone had gave me some advice about the music business. They were saying that a lot of times people will try to, people with small companies will try to sign you to their company, but the first thing they'll want to do is change your lyrics and change your beats. And they explained to me about how royalties is paid out in 200%. So sure enough, at that show, some dude walk up on me, and luckily the lady I was dating at that time was a woman named Barbara, and she was there with me, and I explained that situation, that how that goes to her as well. And basically, I let it be known that I would never give up my lyrics. I may let somebody kind of mess with my beats. At that time, I was willing to let people mess with my beats because I'm still learning anyway how to make beats. But as far as my lyrics, no, because that's where where I can get most of my money from, is the writing of the songs. So sure enough, this guy walks up on me and he was like, "Hey, I'm really feeling your music. I'm with this small record label." He was like, "Yeah, well, but I want to work with you, but we'd have to change your lyrics a little bit and change your beats a little bit." And Barbara stepped in. She was like, "Well, I'm his manager," and she got to running down the whole, just really hollering at him like she was like a manager, really been in the music business for the longest. But she just took the little information I gave her and just read it down, just topped it up real tight with him. And dude was like, no, never mind, and just gave me his card. Was like, just call me when you get a chance. I never did call that dude, because like I said, his first thing was to try to change my lyrics, which means, if they change my lyrics, they can take ownership of my song. So I wasn't going to do that. Then I ended up doing a few different songs. I ended up like changing, going through different, like changing my style of doing beats, and I was changing the way I was doing my lyrics. That's around that time is when I kind of implemented the no profanity in my music. And a lot of people was actually like appreciating the kind of music I was doing, but at the same time I was getting a lot of hate because I wasn't doing what everybody was doing, and that was completely intentional, not doing what everybody was doing because I'm me, I'm not everybody else. In 2004, I ended up I ended up living in San Bernardino again. I moved back in 2003, but I ended up getting my own place in 2004. And around that time is when I really started to get my bearings about, figure out my sound. And my aunts, one of my aunties, Michelle, she was very supportive of me making my music. She's actually the one that put me onto the show at the Merck Park, and she also set me up, put me onto this show that they had in 2004. 2004 for a talent show in LA. And I went and I performed that show, and I was so excited. I did real good, and doing that show actually opened me up to where I ended up doing performances on it was like a small TV show. If anybody remember back in them days where, you know, you had your regular 13 channels, but then you had your little off-brand channels. There was actually on one of the little off-brand channels. There was a TV show that was called Joseph Jones Live in Color. And I performed on that show 3 times. And around that time, I started doing I was doing some of these songs that ended up being on my first album. In fact, there was a young lady who I met online that introduced me to her friend. I'm trying to pronounce her name right, Delicia, something like Delicia, I believe it is. She's actually a friend on my Facebook, but I was always known her as Dee Dee. And Dee Dee sang the choruses for most of the songs on my first album, and she performed with me one time at Joseph Jones Live. I really appreciate her. She's actually on songs. Thank You Lord. She's on Be the Best. Trying to remember that, the name of that song. There's a love song on there. There's the You Said, which ended up being the song I used to propose to my second wife. And Be the One. Yeah, she did more than that. Actually, she even helped with the rights to chorus for the song called In the Club, which was on my first album. Her and my homeboy Big Logic, who passed away. Much love to Big Logic. He actually rapped on In the Club. She sang on In the Club. And those two actually helped with writing the chorus In the Club. But okay. Let's go. Like I said, the 5th album, Bury My Beard, will be out on December 26th, we will still planning on working out doing the listening party. I'm still not sure how I'm going to do it, but I'm planning it. I'm working on that. Going to be on December 26th. It'll be on all streaming platforms. All my music that's out is on all the streaming platforms. So please feel free to go on any platform, look me up, go to search bar, search Minksley, and there is, right now there's over 60 songs. There's going to be like closer to 80 after the new album's out. So, thank you. I love you. Bye.